Okay, we're live.
Hello.
Oh my God, we're live.
We're live. Oh my gosh. This is exciting.
This is such a cool setup, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So cool. I feel so legit. I feel so professional.
We feel so honored that you're
Shut
here.
up.
Hey guys. Such a lovely evening. I think this is like
A
a
momentous
milestone.
evening.
Yeah, this is a milestone for the CommoNurse podcast.
So for everyone who's just joining us in this episode, my name is Ruel.
And I'm Sheila.
And
And welcome to
No.
and
Okay. Again.
so weird. We haven't practiced as
This
you
is our
can
first
see.
time having a guest, guys. So
Yeah.
I'm
again,
so honored.
I know. So it's
No
gonna
pressure.
be like no pressure. Just right. Well, you're gonna introduce him anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So I think we should welcome our listeners. Again, guys, it's Sheila.
and Ruel, and welcome to the CommoNurse podcast.
Yay.
So for everyone who's just joining us in
always
this
do that,
episode,
though. Sorry.
okay, we can put an applause in if you want.
Yay! All right. So tonight is very special to us because tonight's episode is going to be the first time that we're going to have a guest in this podcast, and our dear friend who, by the way, Ruel will introduce, guys, and you will get
Oh my
to
God,
know him.
hopefully I can do this justice via his
grabe
Facebook
naman.
page.
I feel like you should. I feel like you would. So he's actually our dear friend, and you've known him since we started uni. So it's really a nice time to introduce him to you guys, and also a great way to also get to know him in a, I think, much deeper level. We kept chikahing.
Yeah.
Marites man ta every time. He's also a proud Bisaya.
Very Bisaya.
Yes, very Bisaya.
Bisdak represent.
Amen.
Bisdak
And also a very proud Pinoy.
Yes, of course.
Yes. And Ruel, can you please do the honors?
Okay, via his Facebook page. He is
Search him up.
Oh my God.
he studied at University of the Philippines and finished his Bachelor of Science in Statistics. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
And then he
Yes.
did a double master's in Business and Administration and Professional Accounting in our very own University of Canberra.
Good. UC
Thanks,
and UP
UC.
represent.
Thanks, UC. Thanks, UP.
And
there you go.
he is a former president and founding member of our beloved UC Filipino
Philso.
Society.
Oh my God. Yes.
Those were the days.
Oh my God, and
my
the list keeps
God.
on going. And more recently, he was a former analyst at the ACT government, top secret. And now he is, oh my God, this is such an honor to
Shout
introduce
out.
him as the budget advisor at the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet.
Oh, we are
You
so
did justice.
proud.
Nakakahiya. Although
I-
medyo public pa rin yun.
I actually did ask for his proper CV, guys, but he was so humble and declined
Humble
to
yard.
Yeah.
hand over his CV. So I stalked him on his Facebook page, and that's what I came up with.
Yay,
Alright,
And I bet
guys.
there's more to that, and hopefully we can discuss it in this episode.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm so
our dear
scared.
friend and
Kevin.
is
Scovia!
Welcome, Kevs. Welcome
Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored
No,
to be your very first
the
guest.
pleasure is all ours.
Charot.
Yeah.
No, it's mutual.
I guess that, like being like we've known each other for quite a while now.
Yeah, I know.
think it's just like you would do justice to the first episode
Of
that
course.
of our like
Thank you,
guesting
guys.
episode.
Oh my God,
because-
hopefully I don't stutter and I
It's
don't.
fine. It's okay.
It's
It's, normal.
fine.
It's
We do that.
scary.
We do that.
Yeah. And also because this podcast is very important to us, I guess you would also relate because this is we're hoping to actually inspire more people because this is a story of immigrant
Yeah.
not only,
Only
nurses,
nurses. Yep, exactly.
but also people like you coming from different backgrounds, different kind of job,
Different profession.
different
Yeah.
profession. And I feel like we should just tell our stories to the world so people can also be inspired and say, dream about their futures as
Yes,
well.
that's very important.
yeah,
Dreaming
true.
is always important.
Exactly, you're right.
Yes.
Speaking of dreaming, so starting
of
off with,
Straight to the point. Oh my
Yeah.
with our
god.
very first question. So, what inspired you to chase your Australian dream?
Dream, yeah.
I think
Sorry.
what transpired is because growing up, I've always seen my aunt because I have a couple of aunts who live in Australia. So I've always seen and heard stories of how good Australia is. And growing up, I've always just seen it as the greener pasture. It's just so weird
Yeah.
because I think in Philippines, we've always seen. I think that time Australia wasn't the first choice yet. Like we've
Yeah.
always seen
Yep.
the US as the
Yep.
greener pasture.
Always
and
the American dream.
yeah, it's
It
always
has
we
American
keep on
dream.
chasing for that American dream, and that's why their visa is just so difficult to have. Like
Yep.
even just the tourist visa. But I think I'm very fortunate enough to have my aunts here who kept on sharing stories, and then they've always encouraged us to migrate to Australia. After graduating because life is better here.
Yeah.
So-
and
Can you attest to that?
I would, and
Yeah.
I still am attesting to that. Making it in Australia, guys.
So I'm really happy that somehow Australia was introduced to me. Because
Yeah.
if not, I've always had a dream of going overseas, abroad working, but I never thought of Australia if not because of my aunt.
Yeah,
So it's a very
true.
good choice.
Same,
oh my
same.
God, I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
I can
Yeah.
actually relate to that because Australia was never part of my dream going overseas.
But
it was
you-
either
but I
the
am your
United States.
dream.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to and you were going here.
Sana
And
all.
I have to, and I wanted to pursue you. Hence, I'm here.
Aw, sana all. No, because I remember in uni, I think I was already graduating that time. I was asked there's just this recruitment fair, and one of the games was to guess the capital cities. And I was asked, this is so embarrassing. I was asked, what's the capital of Australia? And without thinking a lot, we said Sydney.
Yeah, I would say
And
the same
it's like,
thing.
Same.
No, it's not Sydney. It's like, what? So we missed on the prize, but at the same time, it was so embarrassing. Because
But-
it's like, how can you not know? It's like,
Because you have
you just think it's Sydney.
Yeah, true. And I would do the same because I think Sydney is famous, or Melbourne is also famous back in the Philippines.
But then the
So you
Opera
would-
House and the Harbor Bridge is in
Exactly.
Sydney, and
It's
that's
just very
the landmark.
touristy.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
it's just
Australia.
very touristy. But before anything else, I would just like to say thank you to your auntie.
Aww.
Thank you to your aunts because
Thank you, Tita.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
giving
Tita.
giving the opportunity for Kevin to come here
Yeah.
and actually explore this beautiful country.
Yeah.
So big shout out to you guys.
Without them, I wouldn't know Australia. Like, I didn't. I
Exactly.
wasn't exposed to Australia at all. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone
Yep.
who was in Australia. So it's either Japan, for what reason, and then the US or
Yeah.
Dubai
Yep.
or Arab countries, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like-
And, well, I think
Very few European countries. Like, I would know someone who's in Europe, but are on the higher end of the lifestyle because they're
True.
traveling
Yeah.
or they're pursuing their fashion
Yeah.
career. But that's about it.
but I think everyone could actually and we're back.
And we're back, guys.
All right, guys, you're gonna see the BTS in probably a short clip or reels.
Okay.
Just
So
to make us
before we
laugh.
were interrupted, so we were briefly talking about Australia as to where it was in our plans, migrating overseas, and not that we're bad mouthing Australia. It wasn't on the top of the list. Like from my end, the only time I can think of Australia is when I see kangaroos or koalas
Yeah.
in a photo.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
guess because we were exposed to mostly American, we're very Americanized guys. So don't get us wrong. I think that's where we're coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
And basically, it's us looking for that American dream because that's what been instilled in our mind.
That's what we
Exactly.
see in television. So
Exactly.
we don't
Yeah.
necessarily see Australian movies anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or if there were any Australian actors or actresses, we wouldn't know.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
And I really believe in destinies because I have been applying as a nurse. I have been applying to different countries.
Yeah.
But then, technically, Australia has opened doors for me.
Yep.
Like opportunities.
To where we are now, like there's no
Exactly.
regrets.
Yeah,
that we,
definitely.
Yep.
No regrets.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most livable countries.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Without a
yes.
doubt.
Up there, yeah.
Without a doubt. Safety wise and everything.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So can we just give a clap to Australia, guys?
Thank you,
Too many claps
Australia.
already.
Yeah.
Thank you to our prime ministers. May seeing it
How
lang.
many
My
have
boss.
hang on. How many have we had since we've been here?
What? How many?
Prime
I
ministers.
think we've had 3.
Yeah.
Is it
I
3?
I
Three.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to
3.
name them?
No.
Is this a good?
Oh my God, that's so
I
hard.
didn't realize
No.
is this a game? Oh my god.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, true.
Next question.
Your boss. Your boss.
Okay, since we're talking about migrating already, so
Yeah.
what are the challenges that you've experienced when you migrated here?
Yeah, maybe you can share.
Challenges. Okay. So to start, I think unlike most migrants, my start was different in a way that it was a lot easier, but for other aspects it was harder as well. So say for instance, like most migrants in Australia and anywhere else in the world, they wouldn't have that direct support group because they don't have relatives. Like for you and yourself,
Yep.
well, you didn't have relatives who can teach you the ropes and who can guide you through the Australian dream, right? But I had my aunt, and I'm really so grateful. Like until now, I still can't. I would still have those days where I would still question, like, what did I deserve in this world to. I mean, what did I do in this world to deserve such good people? And on top of that list, always is my aunt, because I feel that she just made my life in Australia a lot easier.
Yeah.
But talking
True
about
that.
challenges, having said that though, my life in Australia wasn't easy. Like most migrants, or if not everyone, we would have our challenges. I guess my main challenge is coming from university, going straight to my master's. I didn't necessarily have the work experience
Oh, I see.
to kind of give me that opportunity to maybe at least get an interview. So and not to brag. So
Sorry, what
no, that's
as
fine.
as usual,
They're
guys.
very
we
excited.
we do have these two boys interrupting our episode.
Hello.
Waka, do you want to give them a treat?
They're actually
Yeah,
a
they
lot.
have a treat
Oh,
already.
okay. Yeah,
They're a
that's
lot
Yeah,
calmer
sorry.
now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess the challenge was mindset. I guess that was the main challenge for me, because not to brag, but coming from UP and then being the prime university in Philippines, you would have your future ready for you as soon as you graduate, right?
Yeah.
So it's not
It's
very
so nice.
easy.
It's so nice.
Yeah, that's very UP.
No, but it's very like I just wish everyone had that opportunity.
Yeah,
Mm,
Because
yeah.
we don't, like, out of university, we'll have to find jobs for ourselves, but you guys are quite fortunate. But then you worked hard for it, though.
Yeah, very hard. It's so
Exactly.
difficult. It's
Yeah.
so difficult to graduate in UP. But anyway, having said that, like if I stayed in Philippines, then I didn't have to struggle with my branding, because they would know, oh, he's a UP graduate, he's proven himself and stuff like that. But in Australia, it's different. Like I really had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't bank on that UP graduate
Yeah.
tag, because
No. Yeah.
anyone, I mean, most employers here wouldn't know UP, and if they would
Yep.
know UP, it wouldn't have much bearing anyway, because the way they're treating schools here is very different from
Yep.
the way we're
Yep.
seeing schools in Philippines. So in terms of mindset, I had to make sure that I was ready for the questions. I was ready somehow for the judgments, or like just like questioning my choices, because I thought about it, because I had one classmate in in UC, and I think she was already a professional back in Bhutan. And she did mention to me that she had to hide what her work was here. Like she had to say that they're biting me. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, hello.
Come
She had
here.
to say that she's working in an office, even if she's doing cleaning jobs, just so she doesn't get embarrassed, or she doesn't get like judged by her colleagues back in Bhutan.
So,
So that was very interesting for me,
I have a
because
question. Is she telling her family and colleagues in Bhutan?
Yeah. So maybe not her direct family, but
Yeah.
her colleagues, or she was trying to hide it as much as she can that she
Yeah.
was doing
Okay.
cleaning.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the difference for me, because entering into Australia, I always knew I had to start from the bottom.
Yep.
And
Of course.
so
Yep.
I
And we
had
all
this
did.
mindset of, I need to pay my tuition. I have dreams for my family. And I want to do this podcast. So if I want to be able to reach this stage, I need to just do whatever
Exactly
it takes.
right. And look where you are now.
So regardless of what people think, I'll just do it because I know where I'm heading. I mean, nothing wrong with being a cleaner.
exactly.
I'm super
Yeah.
duper proud
Exactly.
of
Yep.
my experience of all the current cleaners. But I just knew I wanted a better life for myself, and I just knew where I was going.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cleaning wasn't an issue to me, but apparently it was, because when I posted something about, I don't know if you guys saw that. When I posted about a picture of me cleaning, the reactions I got from the comments and like some of the messages was that oh, Kevin, you were so inspiring because you actually gave us the strength to tell our story as well, even if we thought initially it was embarrassing. You kind of normalized being a UP graduate doing cleaning overseas. And to me, I always thought that was just normal. Like, I had to be authentic. I had to be honest
Yeah.
about
True
my
that.
journey, because once you hide the unglamorous, oh my God, they're doing something there. I love what I'm seeing right there.
Sorry.
Wait, what
They're
was the
distracting
question?
you.
So, because life can't be just glamorous. You
Exactly.
need to share in the right platform what you've been through,
Yep.
Yeah.
so that somehow you can send the message that life won't always be as planned.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can't always be going up. It has its ups and downs always.
Exactly.
So when I shared that, I was just so amazed. Like, I thought that was normal, but apparently it wasn't.
It was not. But I tell you what, it actually humbles you, right?
Yeah.
It humbles us that we actually started from the bottom. We tried our best to actually strive harder to
Yeah.
be successful
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
each and every career. And look where you are now.
Shut up.
That's why,
I'm
guys-
still in the kangkungan.
But that's why, guys,
Yeah.
he is the best first guest because his story is just
No,
inspiring.
But that comes with the mindset as well,
Yeah.
though. That
Yeah.
coming into a different country, you have to start somewhere. You
Yeah.
can't just expect to
True.
live. You're gonna live there comfortably straight away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if you came here with a mindset, I'm gonna get a glamorous job and then I'm gonna earn this much money, then I'm sorry to tell you, but you're gonna get disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that.
and
Because
how
you're gonna get
boring
the-
would that
yeah.
be? Like
Yeah.
going out of your comfort zone supposedly and just still getting that
Yeah.
comfortable life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there would be much growth to that.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
True.
being
And-
exposed to that kind of exposure
Yeah.
is
And
really great.
like for us, it was amazing. Hey, like looking back now, I'm so emotional again.
I know.
Because this is like how it
Yeah.
it feels like doing the podcast when we started the podcast, like how we went through that journey
Yeah.
and then looking back.
Every
it's
time we
just-
talk about our journey, we get emotional.
Yeah,
We
you
get-
you just get teary eyed because
Yeah.
you worked so hard for
Yeah.
it. We kind of knew we kind of knew it was gonna work out, but when and how it
How,
would
yeah.
pan out,
Oh my
You would
God,
have
it
no
was
idea.
it was unsure, and you just don't have an idea.
And you know what? A lot of blood, sweat, and tears
Mm.
have actually been like poured out
Yeah.
into this success that we're reaping at the moment.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like my experience. I like the
Yeah.
road that I took, but
Mm.
I don't want to relive it again. I mean, I don't want to do it
Exactly
again
right.
because it was just so hard. Like,
it was.
Yeah.
It,
it was so hard. It took so much of hard work,
Yep.
sleepless
Resilience.
nights, resilience. Yes.
Yep.
And now I remember actually there was a time where, because I was doing cleaning, right? And I would be helping my aunt doing house cleaning as well. And then, so my only time that I can really focus was during nighttime. So I would be like literally sleeping on the floor of the library because there were like smaller rooms in the library, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
because I feel like I was such a night owl, so and I wasn't driving that time, so it was so far from my aunt's house.
Oh, I see.
So what I was doing is I would be sleeping in the floor because I was just so tired. Like I can't be bothered thinking about what the cleaners would be thinking because they
Yeah.
were starting cleaning around 6 a.m. and what they would be cleaning first is the library. So
And one good thing about the library is here. They're open 24 hours.
they're open 24/7. But
Yeah.
during our time, there wasn't anywhere to eat. We didn't have
Yes.
coffee shops,
Wala pa
which
ko'y
is really
karinderya
annoying.
diri. Oo, wala
Oh
pa
my
ko'y
God.
karinderya diri ba sa gawas ba,
The
no?
closest was Macca's.
Yeah, but you don't drive.
But
so-
now it's different.
Yeah, it is.
Now it's different. They have like coffee shop, legit coffee shop.
Oh, yeah,
They have the
downstairs.
pub. They have Domino's.
Yep.
So there's so much of improvements already.
True.
Thanks to our tuition.
And
Thanks to our
also-
hard work. My
Yeah.
God.
And also talking about resilience, I think that is a really, really one of the proudest and I would say a really great character or
Yeah.
what is it like characteristic of being a Filipino.
A Filipino, yeah.
Because we're very
oh my God.
we're very resilient.
Boys.
Yeah, that's so true.
Regardless of wherever we are in the
Yeah.
world, we
Yeah.
are just resilient. Like wala mang ko'y may choice.
What-
We don't have a choice
Exactly.
but to succeed.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
Yeah, it's totally up to you to make sure you're gonna reach your dream.
Oh yeah, that's so interesting because now saying na wala kaming choice, that was one of the interview question
Yeah.
which gave me the opportunity actually to get an accounting job in Australia because this was a very very unconventional way of interview because the way it went was there were like maybe 20 employers, right? And this was like they're all looking to have people do an internship without the promise of having a job eventually. But to us at that time, being fresh graduates, it's like, whatever, I'll take internship
Yeah.
paid or not. I'll
Yeah.
show them how good I am. And then
Exactly.
hopefully they would be convinced that they need to hire me even
Yeah,
if
that's
I
a major
still
driving force.
don't have permanent residency. So anyway, the question was, so why should we hire you? And this is like quick dating almost. Like 20 employers, you would have 30 or 40. So 1 minute each. So you'd
my
go
God.
around for a minute. So this was very Miss Universe. Like,
It
oh my
is.
God, closed door interviews, Miss Universe.
Yeah, but mind you, there's a heaps of you who are
I
actually competing
know.
for the job.
Yeah, I
30 of
know.
yous. Oh my God.
And the question is, why should we hire you? And my answer, I can still vividly remember, is that you should hire me because I'll do everything because I don't think there's an option for me to fail. Damn, girl.
Such an amazing answer.
Yeah, but really,
Universe,
it's
Yorn.
reality. You'll just have to deal with whatever gets thrown at you.
Yeah, that's a very
Exactly.
strong
Because-
statement.
Yeah.
Because you've sacrificed. I told them, I elaborated, I've sacrificed so much. I've left my family, good career prospects in Philippines. So if I want to make it happen here,
Make it
I'll
in
just
Australia.
diba? Pinag-aralan.
Pinag-aralan yarn.
Yeah, I'll make sure na I'll really do my best.
Definitely.
And if doing my best isn't enough for you, then I guess that's not my fault. At least I did my best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what matters
true.
most.
That is so true.
I think that's how I got my supposedly internship. And what happened is I was so lucky because there were around 20 employers, right? And it was only my company who actually offered a paid internship.
Wow.
And I was the one who got offered. So I was really like, oh, thank
You're
you so
so
When
much.
was this a couple of years ago? Or
No, this was straight from university, from masters.
Masters.
Yeah, so this
okay.
is my very first job. So,
Ah.
and when people ask like, "Oh, how did you manage to get an accounting job?" Because obviously in Canberra specifically, it's really difficult because most of the
True.
clients are government offices. So
Yeah.
they would require a baseline clearance, and that requires citizenship.
Yeah.
Yep. And correct me if I use this. Is it metaphor or like idiom correctly? It's a something bite, something competition or profession. My
Yeah,
God,
I know what
English.
you mean.
Dili man good ang English
But
akong first language.
It's very difficult because one, there's just so many accounting graduates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so
And I was like,
it's a very
yeah,
competitive.
coming
industry.
from a nurse perspective,
Mm.
I was always told that getting an accounting job is never easy.
Yeah, it's
And
never
good,
easy.
good on you. Because you know
Yeah.
what? You deserve it.
Oh, thank you. So I was really just lucky. So that's how I got my 3 weeks internship. And then on my first day, it's like, whatever, throw me those jobs.
Oh,
I'll
let's
do that.
go.
And I didn't have any work. I mean, I didn't have any experience in the office, right? Like zero na, even in Philippines. So it was very challenging, but on the second week, they called me to the office and I was so scared. It's like, oh my God, what did I do wrong?
You're getting sacked.
I know. It's like you're not finishing
That's the fear.
You're not finishing your internship because some of I think that can happen, right? If you
Yeah.
don't do well.
Yeah.
Anyway, they offered me a permanent job. And initially they said they didn't have an opening, like they don't have an open role, but they did offer it. So I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. I remember that day I was in cloud nine and
Were
I
you in
was
tears?
I wasn't in tears because it didn't sink in very quickly. Like it felt so surreal
Yep.
working for something for 2.5 years and then finally getting it. So I called my aunt. It's like, oh my God, I got this accounting job. And mind you, I didn't even think of how much pay I got. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
okay, I won't badmouth, but it wasn't that
Good.
high.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't care. I
Yeah,
just
it's
want
the
an
job security that
experience. Yeah.
counts,
The stability, I think that's what
Yeah.
we're after. And
Yeah, exactly.
like even like same experience. Like I'm coming from a private company, and there's not a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
So regardless, I'm just happy that I was offered like
Yeah.
a full-time job because basically that's your goal.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Exactly. That was the initial goal. And then
Yeah.
you go on to a bigger goal. And
Exactly
another one.
right.
Hang on.
And another one.
Just going back a little bit.
Wait,
So-
what was the question, by the way?
No, we'll just keep on chatting. I'm just leading you back a little bit here.
Yeah.
So before migrating or deciding to migrate here in Australia,
Yeah.
what was the most difficult part for you to live in the Philippines? Apart from your family, of course, because that's a given.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say family because I think
Yeah,
even till
same.
now I live for my family. So
Oh.
everything, like everything. I mean, everything I
Okay.
do.
Miss Universe 2023.
And then next would be my boyfriend. Oh, shut up.
Shout out
Hi,
lang.
boyfie. Shout out.
He's gonna
No, I
definitely
live
watch
for,
this.
I live for my family, so that was my answer. But I think the hardest was maybe that stability. Just knowing that whatever you wanna pursue, you have that card already that says you've worked hard. We know you can do it. It's that established branding almost. Because
Yeah.
at work it's all about your branding, right? Like
Yeah.
wherever we go, how you relate to your colleagues, how you've performed on your previous job,
Yeah.
always comes back to you. It's either
Yeah.
good or it can bite you really bad.
Oh my God,
Exactly.
my referees. Hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully I did you justice so you can
Oh,
reciprocate whatever I
of
did.
course. Like, nah.
No, for
yeah.
sure you've done a very good job. And yourself as well.
Thank
For
you.
sure. I
Well-
mean, you won't be able to afford all this setup if you weren't doing really well at job.
Now, this is
True.
from
It-
this is
it-
from charity.
Just saying.
So
It comes
this
with
is from the ACT government.
it's coming from hard work.
Yeah.
And I guess like going back to referees, like I would just give a shout out to my managers. You guys are amazing that they would say like, oh, we're gonna lose a good one. And I know you're a good one that the
Yeah.
first time I've hired you. I'm like,
See, that really makes a lot of difference because
Yeah.
that
it
means,
tells a lot, hey?
I mean, it helps us professionally in your career and in your like resume, but also it uplifts the branding of Philippines as a whole. And I
Yeah.
guess you don't come here just as a citizen. You come here as a Filipino citizen.
Still,
so whatever you do,
Yeah.
it becomes reflected on the future batches of Filipinos
Yeah.
who would be coming in.
exactly.
Yep,
So
and
do good
that's
by
such a
Do good
big
for
thing.
do
everyone.
good
Yeah.
by everyone
Yeah.
and by every Filipino that actually is doing good
Yeah.
in
Thank you so
their
much.
profession.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much to the previous Filipino for paving the way.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's really
Hang
good.
on.
Yeah.
But with regards to our experience, though, is that what happened when we
What?
were at uni?
Which one?
Not to be controversial, but wasn't the backstory before we came in?
Oh,
is-
yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You know-
remember
you know
that.
about
that.
It
You
was
know
with
about
the
that.
uni, yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
backlash
Yeah.
of what the previous batch did. Hence, they were a little bit tough towards us.
Yes.
Very controversial. Next topic.
Very marites.
No, but I
But-
guess at work, at least
Exactly.
Yeah.
if somehow in your Australian life you've been referred by another Filipino or Filipina just because she had the capacity to refer someone because she did well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think most of us has
Yeah.
experienced
And you
that.
don't want to tarnish that reputation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. It's
True.
very
You shouldn't
important.
only be thinking about yourself, but also be mindful about the others.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine, like, grabbing that opportunity from someone just because the
you've done something
bad
Yeah.
the
and
past.
the stigma stays
Yeah.
there.
And you're like, I think they were just so proud. But I guess going back into that very controversial past.
Do you really want to touch that? Though?
Oh my
I
God,
do.
I'm so scared.
No.
I would have my bashers
No. I do because
cancelled with the letter T.
I just want to say this though. It was hard on us, mind you guys. You made it hard for us, but we did prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I kept getting a lot of positive comments and feedbacks coming from the teachers that we've actually studied with, the clinical
Yeah.
instructors, and going on placement, they would actually praise us that, hey, you're actually working like a nurse. Like, I don't see you like a student anymore because you've been fulfilling a role of a nurse. This is when I
Yeah.
was in my last semester
Yeah.
at uni. And of course, that's still within my scope. I just practice within my scope, and they find that, you know, you're very professional and you do practice it the right way. So regardless of what other Filipinos did prior to you, your reflection is the actions that you did is still a reflection of you.
Yeah, and
isn't it?
I guess the messaging as well. To be
Yeah.
on the brighter side of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
I feel like, oh my God, this scares me.
He's scared now.
There's always an opportunity to redeem yourself. There's always
Exactly.
that redemption.
Yep.
It's not the end of the world. I
Yep.
mean, we commit mistakes. That's fine. We're
Yep.
humans after all.
As
but
long as you
there's,
grow from it.
I know there's always chance to just rebrand yourself. To start
true.
fresh.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, a takeaway from that experience is just be kind.
Be kind. Yes.
Yeah, be humble.
Yes.
Be humble regardless of wherever you are. I think,
Yeah.
especially now that we're here in Australia or maybe different parts of the world, everyone's equal.
Yeah.
I think the more like the seniority, the background check, the branding that you've established in the Philippines, it stays in the
It
Philippines.
stays in the
Yeah.
Philippines, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
No.
Don't say anything
no, actually,
else.
no.
Okay.
Somehow the branding is related to your mindset as well. So you can bring your mindset,
Yep.
but not always use it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyway,
I guess like coming from an adulting perspective, is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? I guess just think before you speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, it's interesting, like the seniority things, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I've done this, I've done that in Philippines. Well, you're not in Philippines, you're in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever their culture here,
Yeah.
you need to
you
somehow assimilate.
yeah. And also like you have to adjust because you are like the odd one out.
Yeah.
So you have to actually observe first.
Mm.
Try to wrap your head around the things that how they do things in here,
Yeah.
especially us in nursing. Like it's
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
I think I can't really relate it to accountancy, but like for us, we just have to adapt because
Yeah.
that's what been called for us. We
Yeah.
are gonna practice nursing here, so we adapt.
Yeah.
We have to adapt it here.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm actually really scared.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I guess.
No, I guess
we're
We
not.
didn't say anything that's
Yeah,
foul
it was
anyway.
more
Yeah.
of a general.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And that's also
wait.
like,
What was the question again? I seriously forgot about the question. We
No,
need
it's
to
okay.
Put it
We did-
back to the question.
We did touch base. We did touch the question anyway.
Well-
but I'm just interested.
Yeah.
How many? What year did you start in here again?
I
20.
think I was here February 2013.
13.
13.
2013.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was it back then when you first arrived here?
Well, I knew nursing was very in demand back then,
Yeah.
even
Yep,
until
yep.
now, I guess.
Yeah.
It was so like Canberra. You mean Canberra?
Yeah, Canberra in general.
Canberra was so different because we didn't have the tram yet. There wasn't much building yet, and it was. And when I arrived in Canberra, it was like, okay, so this is Canberra. Welcome to Australia.
Yeah.
So nothing exciting, and that's maybe because we've thought of Australia, Canberra as like the Sydney
Yeah.
kind of lifestyle.
But people-wise, though, are they any different like back then to now? Like how they treat migrants?
I was so happy in Canberra specifically because I think Canberra being the most educated. I mean,
I
every
agree
now
to
and
that.
then you
Yeah.
hear stories of people being bullied or people being racist to one another. But to me, I haven't experienced like a first-hand experience
Okay,
of
that's very
Same.
good.
being
Yeah.
bullied
Same.
or being a victim of racism. Like
Yeah.
everyone here was just so friendly.
Yep.
Actually, um,
Everyone was trying to be politically correct.
yes, and that can be very hard at
yeah.
times. Coming from Philippines, where you can just joke practically about anything. Like you can just shout whatever you're thinking. Here, you can't do that. You need to be very mindful of people's emotions and.
Yep.
And the humor is actually quite different.
It's
Like,
very different.
unlike when you like just have a quick chat overseas in the Philippines and then something pops out of your mind and you think it's funny, and then in here try to translate that. Like, it wouldn't. It wouldn't
doesn't
come as
translate.
it doesn't
And
translate.
so that's why it's hard when you get asked, because like, you know, when you go out in the morning, there would just be everyone saying good morning, how are you, how was your day, or like how's your day going, and you just can't speak so much because it's like, what do I talk about? He's a random person, so what do I bring up and stuff. So I think initially I've always resorted to like the weather. And it's like later on I realized, oh my god, that was so embarrassing.
But
like,
that was so generic though.
Yeah,
It's
but
not-
the last thing-
it's not just
I
you.
actually think when you speak about whether, like for me, it's like, oh, this guy doesn't want to talk. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
I mean, that's on the bottom line of like conversations, right? So I guess
Yeah.
that's a good tip to everyone who's just like making it in Australia. That once you get that weather conversation, it's like it's a
That
no-go
means
zone.
okay, that's like,
Yeah.
okay, stop.
Stop it. That's
or
it.
like the
Then
person
you're
ends there.
or the
interested.
person
Yeah.
hasn't had coffee yet, and that he or she's not ready for a conversation.
Exactly right.
You have to respect that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the request for space. But
Yeah.
I think everyone's generally very friendly here, because even when I was so I was doing cleaning with my aunt, and then most of her clients were diplomats, and one
Aw.
specifically was the Brazilian embassy. So I went with my aunt cleaning the embassy itself and the residences of the diplomats, and I was so shocked because I would be doing cleaning, right, and I was basically a nobody, and then here's this ambassador who would be going out of his office, would be walking towards you and like would be handshaking you, and it's like, hey, how are
Wow.
you? And to me was like, do you know I'm a cleaner, right? It's like I still had that Filipino mentality of like, you're superior, you're the boss, I'm still
Yeah.
making my way up, so we can't talk, we have a different world. But he was just like, I would say, it's like, my hands are dirty, and he was like, no, that's fine. And he would always make his, out of his, he would always go out of his way to greet me.
Yeah.
And so
That's very
that
nice,
kind of really changed my perspective about how you treat people.
Exactly.
Although my aunt has always been like that, right? Like I would see my aunt being good to everyone, and my parents as well.
Yep.
That's where I somehow got like being respectful to everyone. But it just kind of got cemented because of this like, to me, we're really respectable people,
Yep.
but at the same time didn't look at your status in life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that was across the whole Brazilian embassy. So shout out to Brazil.
Yeah,
That's
Brazil.
no, just in general. That's one thing I've noticed though. Like
Yeah.
since I've arrived in Australia, people don't care about your job.
Yeah.
As long as you give out the same respect.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's a very flat
And-
structured
Yeah.
And also,
kind of thing.
it would say a lot, especially to that person who
Yeah.
showed that to you.
Yeah.
And you're also this person who'll be able to show that same kindness and respect to others.
Yes.
It's just like a ripple effect.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just gonna go a long way. So
And-
I hope everyone could actually take
Yeah.
something away from this.
And I guess to him, that was like, it didn't cost him anything. That was just
Yeah.
a minute of his life.
But
But
then it made your day,
definitely,
yep.
that made a lot of impact to me.
and that made your day.
Yeah. And that
Right?
made my life, basically.
Exactly.
Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't be how I treat other people if I
Yeah.
haven't been shown how I should be
Kindness.
treating people. And I haven't been
Exactly.
shown that kind of
Yeah.
kindness. So yeah, it was really like, it was so mind-boggling at first.
But like in a good way, you're taking away a lot from your experiences, and then you just have to like take piece of the positive things and then apply it in your life,
Yeah.
which is really good. And it builds a lot. It says a lot about your character
Yeah.
as well as a person,
Mm.
and yeah, like you're amazing as well.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
Oh,
oh,
charot.
okay,
No, thank
comes
you.
into it, right?
Oh, hang on.
All right,
We're getting
let's move
sidetracked
forward. I
even
think.
more.
Yeah.
So
Sidetracked
since-
again.
Again.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
quite common.
So that ambassador actually ended up being one of my referees for my first ever resume.
Wow.
So imagine
Wow.
being a fresh graduate, a cleaner in Australia, no office job experience, having a meeting before he agreed to be my referee, he wanted a meeting with me, a sit down meeting, and just talk about what my plans are, where I want to head in terms of my
wow.
career. So it's like, are you for real?
He's actually interested about your life.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, that is so nice.
It's so nice. So again, that's because of my aunt. So I think it all boils down to my
Yeah.
aunt showing me around in like Australia.
And also like like the people, like, look, if you're also kind to people, like especially with your family, it says a lot, like when it comes to your family and how you're shown, and then also builds your character as well. I don't think he would mind being your referee, because I think he've also known your auntie, and then your auntie is a good person, and it's just like a ripple effect that
Yeah.
it comes to, like, this is also a good person, and
Yeah.
you've shown that when you were cleaning his house, you're actually doing a good job.
Or maybe
is
not.
it that?
Charot na.
Oh yeah, but I don't think he would agree
All
to
right,
that
so
one.
going back.
Yeah.
Crowd
Wait,
control.
let me just check my message. My
That's okay.
boyfie. Oh my god, it's 10 already. I
I
told him I'll be home by
know.
10. But
Yeah.
I did tell him I'll be
Yep.
late.
So anyway,
Are we still recording? Can we just
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.